What's up, my witches? Let's shed a little light. There we go. How'd you like my little moon? Dollar Tree, you guys. $1.25. Isn't it cute? I'm going to shut it off now. Yeah, $1.25. How can you say no? Test 1, 2. Let me turn the drums down so it's just for me. How's everybody doing? Test 1, 2. Hi, Al. Hi, Sam. Hi, Mercy. Hi, Roxanne. Welcome, everybody. Blessed be. Welcome to my thing. Um, I will try not to be horribly weird tonight. Or maybe that's not a thing I should try. I think that's called masking, and I've done it all my life. Hi, Allie. Glad to see you, hun. It is a lovely little moon. I'm very happy with it. Very, very happy. It has replaceable batteries, so that's nice. That's very nice. So, let me get things centered a little bit here. I'm not going to be too fussy about it. There we go. So you would notice that there are no decks like on the desktop. And that's because there are 20 of them over here. I have a list. Let's see. Trust me, it's a list. Because I went into my deck catalog for my collection, and I searched everything that had witch in the title. And there were 20 of them. And oh, look, I have a 20-sided die. So we will let the die pick from the witchy decks. I'll show you what they are. But first of all, let's check in. How are you doing? Are you breathing again yet? I mean, watching an implosion in real time. It's really something. And it's as we're watching the crashing and burning, we are watching the other just get more solid, more steady, more projecting more of who she is, you know? So I have been saying for a long time that we're going to see something in this election the like of which we've never seen. And now I'm hearing a bunch of people saying that. So I'm glad that they've caught up, but that's been my sense all along. So let's see. Who else has popped in? Anybody else? Yes, Al, I absolutely. Do I have a choice? No. And I delight in it. Being weird is delicious. Oh, honey, you're in my prayers and we do our grounding tonight. I want to really send lots of healing and prayers to each other and ourselves out into the grid because we're all having quite a rough ride, and it's coming down to to the apex, and then there's going to be a different kind of rough ride. But you know what? As we keep getting closer and closer, I'm watching fewer and fewer, reading fewer and fewer political things, very select ECM on Resistance Live, and Marianne of Revealing Light Tarot, and Heather Cox Richardson. That's pretty much it. They're keeping me informed. So I have been just fucking rocking it, if I say so myself, for the last 3 days. A week ago, last Monday, I got a cortisone shot. And it takes a while for it to really, get into my system, but my adrenals don't work right. And when I get a cortisone shot, it's like, So I have been cleaning out all kinds of stuff. There's bunches of stuff leaving this house, and it feels so good. And it's a perfect thing for Samhain because it's like this harvest has been stored too long, and now it needs to go out and spread its goodwill to others. So lots of things happening, and it feels good. It feels active. Um, Bruce at Atlanta, Georgia rally. Bruce Hoos. Yeah, mercy, stop the doom scrolling. Absolutely. Because there's just so much doom, and you can, keep an eye on it. And the things that are worth keeping an eye on is the fact that Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss are now in possession of all of Rudy Giuliani's assets. You can run, but you can't hide, and you can't run forever, is what our justice system says. So, while we're hanging out here, let me see. Welcome to anyone who hasn't checked into the chat or anybody that's new here. I'm Luna. We do readings for the collective on these nights, and I'm sure that you'll find something that's useful for you. If you want to participate in the chat, you have to be subscribed for 1 minute. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't been and you want to check in. And please do check in. Hi, Indigo Roses. Welcome, dear. Please do check in. And if you're new, say, hi, I'm so-and-so from, where you're from. And welcome to our little community. Eh? All right. Let's here. First things first. First things first. I think. Oh. That match just would not light. Okay. Let me go up in the corner. I offer you this sacred smoke cleanse. May this sage clear any harmful vibrations, any harmful excess or deficiency in the realms of air and fire. May you be purified and charged. By water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. May we feel the connection between us on an emotional level, on a physical level, and may we help each other to be nourished and healed. Let's do a round. Ooh. Okay, my pillow's getting crooked. Let's try that again. By the sound of the bell, may anything unnecessary be cleared out of your atmosphere, out of your mind. May your mind be focused and open, and may the Spirit enter in. I might have to fix my little pillow. It's getting lopsided. All right. Now the keys are all askew. Oh, no. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, we welcome you into this space. We give you our gratitude. We greet you in perfect love and perfect trust. Our minds and hearts are open to the messages that you share with us tonight. as we move through this sacred season of Samhain and Beltane, the season of renewal, the axis of life and death. And we offer you fresh water. We offer you the fire of Azrael to bring the spirit of divination in. Let's do a meditation now. What time is it? Okay. 7:11. There you go. Al says, I got an app on my phone that limits my social media use, trying to let it do its thing. That's excellent. Oh, okay, Indigo. First time catching me live. Yeah, from Ohio. Where in Ohio? I'm in Kent. Where are you, my dear? Yes, and Sam lives in the same town as me. So I haven't talked to our Darcy in a while. I would love to see her here. Hope she's doing okay. So, all right, let's everybody settle in. Oop. Settle in and bring your, Allie says, Gizmo loved the singing bowl. Good. All right, come on in, settle down into your body. Consciously feel your attention come from up here in your head and feel it come down, 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 down into your body, right to the center, like in your low belly. Right there. Let it sink to the very center of your energy being. And from there, let your awareness move through your body, touch in with your senses. And just perceive through those senses, whatever there is for you to perceive. Any smells, sights, sounds, tastes, sensations, touch sensations, temperature, where you might feel comfortable in your body, where you might feel a little tense or maybe have some pain. We're not trying to change it, just notice, just regard yourself so that your body feels seen. And then with your attention at the very base of your spine, just in front of that, allow that root center to open and the root to grow down into the earth. And as it does, you feel anything you don't need draining down. You are a being of light and frequency, but also a being of substance. And sometimes there are energies that just ride that line, and they're heavy and they're dense, and they weigh us down. So just let those break loose from your energy body and fall down that root back into the earth to be transformed. And as it does, you feel your body relaxing more and more with every breath, every exhale. You feel all that's weighing you down, dropping free down into the earth. You feel your breath expanding, and you feel yourself becoming more relaxed, more spacious. It's like when you breathe in, you're breathing in through your skin, all over your body. And as you exhale, your skin releases even more toxins, even more energies that weigh you down that you do not need. And now, over the space of just a few breaths, notice how much more relaxed you feel, how much more spacious and light your body feels. And then up from the earth, up through your root comes green and gold sparkling earth energy, flowing into the space that is your body, flowing instantly down your legs. Feel all the sparkles inside you, warming things up, sparking things into life, awakening, transforming all the way up into your belly, up into your solar plexus, up into your ribs, your chest, your mid back, your shoulder blades loosen up. It flows down your arms to your fingertips, up into your neck, up into your head, swirling and spinning. Each little pair of green and gold sparks is rushing around, cleansing, clearing, as even more pour in. You find you can hold an infinite amount of this light. And after the next full exhale, inhale even more up. Exhale only the breath. And another. Brighter flooding into your system, filling you up. Exhale only the breath. And a third. Overflowing, and you breathe it out the crown. And watch it shower down around you in this beautiful living sphere, green and gold, swirling, moving, transparent, made of energy, yet it has substance. And you watch it flow down around you with no gaps or spaces, touching the earth, sinking down, hugging your root, and back down. And now you reach up into the cosmos, and you see the silver blue energy of space, of potential, showering down, and you feel your mind begin to wake up, and you feel even more space coming into your mind, as if beautiful windows have been opened on all sides. And all the little bats in the belfry, or the little crows that have been cawing at you all day about things that you don't need. Open the windows and let them fly free. Out they go, little wings flapping, leaving your mind even more open, even more spacious, with light pouring in. And you let this silver blue light pour down through your whole system, each little pair of silver and blue magnetically attracted to green and gold. And they spin and dance like an infinite troop of fairies, all through your body, and even beyond your skin, inside of this sphere is this wonderful dancing energy. And it comes down and rushes down your legs, down your fingertips, down your root, until it joins with the outside of the sphere, and it rises up the outside and back into the cosmos. What a beautiful cocoon you're being held in. The earth energy, the cosmic energy, both are the energies that you are made of. And After the next exhale, take a nice deep inhale and push the outer layer until it snaps in to that seed of life grid, that flower of life grid that we have done so many times now. And you feel the light and the energy that's pouring through you is immediately, exponentially multiplied. Into this space, call your special beings, your deities, your angels, your ancestors, your spirit beings, your animal beings, all of your guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, gods and goddesses. Say them out loud if you want to, and invite them into this space where they wake up in this grid and their energy begins to flow. And then from this blend of energies coming up from below and down from above, feel them meeting at your heart, and that center energizes and opens up front and back, and incredible pink light begins to flood out. Pink pearl light. And it floods out and it hooks into the grid. This is the light of compassion and healing. This is light of love and care. Light of support. Light of hope. So that everyone that is having a terribly hard time now knows that there is hope and there is support. Claim this moment in this wonderful energy. Claim it now. Anchor it in your body with maybe a few words, with a tap on your wrist, with a tap at your heart. Anchor this feeling into your body. It belongs to you. You can access it anytime you need to. And let that pink energy with some green in it too flow out from your heart into the seed of life grid, and feel it expanding out from that grid. If there are particular people in your life that you know that need this, direct it toward them. This energy is free and accessible to all who wish it. And now, keeping this flow going, let's come back to this space. And I would invite you to maybe grab one of your decks if you'd like to. Come on back. Let's do some readings. So here we go. I'm going to introduce the decks. You ready? This is not in numerical order. We have Tarot of the Witches by Fergus Hall. We have Silver Witchcraft Tarot by Barbara Moore and Franco Rivoli. We have The Witch's Tarot by Ellen Cannon Reed and Martin Cannon. We have The Cozy Witch Tarot by Amanda Lovelace. Artwork by Janina Medeiros. Let's see other ones. We have the Practical Witches Spell Deck and the Witch's Familiar Runic Oracle. This one doesn't have an author on it. This one is Athene Noctua. This one I haven't even done a video for. Witch Cats, You Are Magic. And that is by Nicole PR, written and illustrated. Then we have The White Witch Tarot by Maya Doost. Then we have, okay, wait. Then we have Witch Sister Tarot by Julia Jeffrey, and the Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan and Mark Evans. That was stack number 1. Yippee! Then we have The Solitary Witch Tarot by Lucy Cavendish and Lady Victoria. We have Laura Tempest Zakroff Liminal Spirits Oracle, Witches Spirit Cards. Anatomy of a Witch Oracle by Laura Tempest Zakroff. The Witch's Oracle by Sally Morningstar and Danuta Mayer. And the Hedge Witch Botanical Oracle by Ciolo Thompson. And then, come here, you. And then we have the Witching Hour Oracle by Sherry Gerhardt. We have Witchlings Deck and Book Set by Paulina Cassidy. Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle by Jada Rose and Lorianne Anderson, Juliet Diaz. The Enchanted Spell Oracle Medieval Hedge Witch Magic by Priestess Moon. And we used this last week, WITCH Woman in Total Control of Herself by Angie Sullins and Silas Tobal. So, are you ready? My God, half an hour already. Okay. It's all right. Let's get our Astro Dice. I'm going to do 3 decks is my intention. All right. What are the energies we're working with tonight? And by the way, welcome to Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Scorpios. We have Pluto, speaking of Scorpios, in Pisces, in the 3rd house. Okay. So Pluto is the deepest, the slowest. It is inevitable. It is transformation. It's death, it's death and rebirth in an entirely different form. In Pisces, we're talking about the spirit, the subconscious, mental health. But this is, Pluto is clairvoyance and clear seeing and magic. And you put it in Pisces, which is the spiritual and the boundary buster. And I think there's no place you can't go in your mind. This feels like Akashic records here. And the 3rd house is the mind. It's how your mind works, and Mercury more so, but what you do with your mind, your how you learn, elementary school, your neighborhood, you're close in. So we're talking about really transforming it can also be like really far-reaching conspiracies and enemies and hidden stuff, because boy, Pluto and Pisces ruling the 12th house, naturally, that's hidden enemies. And this could be being your own worst enemy. But it also says that you really have to transform at the subconscious level. You must start by the changing of belief systems. And when you bring that transformation out into your neighborhood, into, it's also siblings, into your like side-by-side relationships, not the face-to-face so much as the parallel relationships, then things have deep roots and real transformation can take place on a broad level, on a cultural level, Pluto also talks about, Pluto rules dictators. Pisces rules swindling and deception and things like that. We are certainly dealing with these energies. But here's the other way you use those energies. You use the inevitable, and Pluto is the inevitable. It's a coming. That train comes. It doesn't matter how slow it is. That train comes, right? No stopping it. So transformation of belief systems, of the programming that runs everything. And it can be like becoming conscious. You have to become conscious of your belief systems before you can change them. And that's why people that are in a cult, they're not conscious that they're in a belief system. So that's what makes it so hard. Anyhow, That's what I get there. But it's seriously transformative energies, and Pisces is also sacrifice. It's devotion, it's spiritual practice, all of these things. Wow. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Sam, what happened? Project Refined Life. Good. Have a snack, Al. Absolutely. Feed your body. Uh-oh, Sam, what happened, darling? Hi, Ellen Marie. Oh, goodness. Shoo, 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 Technogrammin. Hi, Catherine. Glad to have you here, darling. Okay, so what's our first deck going to be? Number 5 on the list is the Liminal Spirits Oracle. Come on now. And this one is on the list because the subtitle of it is Witches Spirit Cards. All right. The Silver Keys. Okay, I got these when I was headmistressing Hogwarts at my UU church. It's a beautiful set of keys. They say faith, love, hope, peace, success, and dream. I kind of wish I have to rechain them. Or I can just whip one around to the other side. But dream and success would be nice brackets for those, the 4 principles of faith, hope, love, and peace. So they're just, things that I value. And just the symbol of a key. These are keys. The tarot is a key. Anything that gives you that, insight into something, that opens a window, opens a door onto information, realizations, inspiration, are keys. So the key is a very powerful symbol. All right, what do we need to know? All right. We have desert, inspiration, hot colors on a Leo moon, moth, roots, time, and crystal. Okay, so going intuitively, desert, of course, talks about a place that's arid and dry. It is, we call it barren, but it's just highly specialized, I will say, because many creatures live and thrive in desert habitat. And the things that do are very hardy and very tough. They don't have it easy, but they are specialized and adapted to dry areas. And we can look at how maybe we have been in this place of feeling like we're parched. And it's also, I'm thinking about the places that have been in drought. We've had very little rain over the entire summer till Helene came through, and then we got a ton of it. But just I'm thinking about, what's the word I'm looking for here? Barrenness is, I guess that's it. Nothing growing, nothing to help something grow, just dry. And here, cheers. And you can say, man, I'm dry is an expression about being out of ideas. I'm dry. You can also say, when you've been through stressful situations or around really needy people, that you get sucked dry, right? So in this place of just feeling like we're had the air sucked out of us. Then we've got inspiration over here, and we've got this steaming cauldron where things can come together and meld and stew and make something new. So into this cauldron, we can throw like a bunch of disparate ideas, and then let them work their way around. It's kind of like I always say I like to have my mind blown at least once a day, but watching videos, watching things that will expand your knowledge, watching other artists create, and filling your eyes and your mind and your ears with beauty, that can be throwing things into this cauldron, throwing impressions, colors, sensations into this cauldron, and then they kind of cook, and suddenly you are inspired with an idea. And we've got a death's head moth here. So we can talk about cocoon, about when those ideas are in there cooking, and then finally when they're ready, because it's particularly caterpillars and butterflies that just turn into a puddle of goo, inside, and then everything resorts itself into an entirely new critter. So that kind of transformation. And Roots in Time. Wait, I'm going to stop and read a little bit. And this is one of those decks where things are in sets of cards and it's really hard to look anything up. Okay. Trees, herbs, artifacts, rites, places, desert. All right. Just an alphabetical listing. So helpful. Okay. Desert is a place of extremes. Extreme heat during the day, bone-chilling cold at night. There's Pluto. Extremes. A quick glance might make you think the desert is desolate, but it teems with life that's often just out of sight. It isn't forgiving. It takes great fortitude to survive in the desert. The desert reminds us to conserve our resources, otherwise we may put ourselves in danger. So, this is the validation that we have all been through the desert in some way or another. We've experienced abandonment when people that were supposed to protect and nurture us did not, either didn't show up or did the dead opposite. So we can be used to just toughing it out, So then we've got the inspiration cooking around in here. All right, hold on. Where does that show up? Right. Okay. Yes, just being stirred by ideas and the arts and things of what we were talking about. The moth is, I'm sure, transformation, but I always like to let the author have their say, especially when I don't use a deck very often. Change, transformation, secrecy, psychic development. So one of the things being kind of high and dry in the desert does is it can drive you internally. And I'm talking metaphorically here. If you were in a non-nurturing environment, you learn how to protect yourself. You learn how to conserve your resources. You learn how to nurture yourself. You learn how to find water, even if it's your own tears. So we have inspiration now, and we are looking to transformation, looking to our psychic senses to help feed us and find another way. Then we've got roots here. So we are acknowledging that we have other roots. We have ancestral roots. We have roots that are that make themselves known to us through our interest in other cultures. If you've grown up in Ohio, USA for my entire life, but feel like I know Egypt or like the back of my hand. It's just stuff like that where you feel really drawn to a particular culture. You can remember what it was like being there. So we have roots and family that are not necessarily our blood family. And gosh, I was having a chat just yesterday, no, 2 days ago, about healing your ancestral line. That when you do your own healing and transformative work, it lets your ancestors off the hook, because what happens is you come to an understanding of their trauma and how they didn't have the tools to do anything but hand it on, So there's an unhooking that happens and letting the ancestors off the hook, and it helps to heal your ancestral line. And by doing that too, you heal your descendant line, because you're not going to pass those behaviors on now. And this happens over time. and it takes time. We want instant fix. You know, those roots have taken a long time to grow, and there is time stretching into the future. And, you know, here's another little secret is that transformation is never really complete. It's never really complete till you like shuffle off this mortal coil. You know, then you are in your true glory. Um, but transformation in this life takes time. And then we've got crystal at the bottom. And looking at something solidifying, something, it's kind of like our sphere that we put around us. It's like solid, looks solid, but it's permeable and it's clear and transparent, but it's hard and solid, and it's got a point, and it can be protective, and it can be healing. um yes, all of those things. So okay, I'm curious. I think I might take one more on crystal here. Let me look it up again. Okay. Many facets to a situation, digging in the dirt to find the beauty within, find and trust the luminescence within yourself. Um, Crystal can represent sharpness and clarity, precision, spirituality, purity, love, and protection. So it's talking about them enchanting our ancestors. Okay, so here's another thing. Crystals are growing things. It's not like a living thing that breathes and reproduces and, you know, eats and shits and all that. It is a growing mineral thing. So it is growing and changing. You know, crystals grow in a particular environment. And if you have a crystal that's got a crack in it, wrap it up in a dark cloth and stick it way away up in the closet in the dark and just leave it there. Leave it there, and let it heal itself. So this can talk about what I'm looking at here is the facets and seeing different reflections, different faces through time. So one of the things this is about too is this Samhain time, doing perhaps some past life journeying and looking at who you have been over time, your roots over time, within, you know, from lifetime to lifetime, but also just within this lifetime, what your roots are now, and what factor time has been, what role time has played in your transformation. Where are you now looking back? And knowing that it's going to take time as well for you to get to a place of self forgiveness where you can see yourself crystal clear, you know, where you can see the different facets of yourself and know that there is one spirit at the center of it all. So I think we're just talking about a Samhain journey here. Going journeying, going, wait, I'm going to take another one on crystal. And I get metal. Okay, so another of these inorganic substances. Some say metals are the bones of the earth, but if you think about it, metal is more like the solidified blood. Once a metal ore is collected, it's heated up often to a liquid state so that it can be transformed into tools. We still define progress in civilizations by when their inhabitants moved beyond stone tools into harnessing bronze, followed by iron. There are myths that speak of metals as the flesh of deities long hidden within the earth. The ancient alchemists believed that metals held not only magical properties, but also spiritual connections. Our exploration of metallurgy has yielded beautiful works of art as well as terrible tools of destruction. So metal really is a picture of transformation. It's going through, how interesting, look at this. Talk about transformation. This is in the dark, the cold, the damp. This is in heat, light, intensity. Absolutely opposite. But still, and so you have a part of you that grows slowly, slowly, slowly over time. This is definitely serving to help illustrate what this is. So it takes time to grow into a crystal. You have to have your roots sunk deep, and you've got to give it time and the right conditions for this slow growth crystal. Then there's the transformation that happens when you are put through the fire. And when you find yourself melted into a blob and you get to decide, what am I going to forge myself back into? Sometimes it's the knocks of life that forges us. So what you get to decide then, it could be no choice of your own that you were forged into like a stabby thing, right? Maybe you can choose to shape that into something else, to a knife that prepares food, or to a pair of scissors that cuts fabric or paper into beautiful art or something like that. I could follow these metaphors to a ridiculous degree. But yeah, I'm finding that really interesting. I want to see one more. Belladonna. Oh, who's she? Look at this. Here's the only being that has shown. No, there's a being. But how interesting. Good grief. It's hard to get to even the contents page. Okay, herbs. Also known as deadly nightshade, belladonna, Atropa belladonna, means beautiful lady in Italian. The herb may have gained this name through centuries of use in cosmetics, from being made into a tonic to dilate women's pupils, to being used to color or blush the skin. But belladonna herself is an herb that is very alluring and demands respect. Her nature makes Nathaniel Hawthorne's Rappaccini's daughter come to mind. I don't know that story. In this short story, a beautiful young woman has tended to her father's garden of poisonous plants all her life, immune to their toxins, but she becomes poisonous herself to other humans. Belladonna is very seductive and powerful in her charms. She does not suffer fools. So I think that's just a little the witch showing up here. the witch in this deck showing up to say, work your magic and understand there are many different types of magic. But this is talking about magic that requires roots and time. And, we also have the alternative with being tested in the fire and forged into something, honed into something. And what's the word I want? Tempered into something strong and flexible, even through the dry, dry desert. That was overall a very dry reading. Interesting. Okay. Focused energy. Yep. All right. Let's see. For Hecate. Well, yes, they are. They are, Catherine. I have a great big one. Hi, Catherine. They have I have a great big one over on my altar. It's like this big, and then another skeleton key. So yes, and she's not the only one that they are for. Mercy says, whether you're in a cult, having close held beliefs, discovering they're inaccurate, raising the past is beyond hard. It really is. It really, really is. Because, the very definition of a belief is it is not conscious. So, certainly can be at first mercy, but once you hit the point where you realize you're raising above the past, let the old fall by the wayside. Yep. Indigo says, when I saw the desert card, I first thought of a vision quest. Yes, that's very appropriate there. Absolutely. Going out into the desert, away from all distractions, to see where you're at, to gather inspiration and begin the transformative process. Talk about what you want to transform into. And yep, very good. Ooh, that's really good. So I have several Ohio cities, deep connection to Egypt. Yep, me too. Crystals are focused energy, sharp, hard scissors for soft creation with fabrics and textiles. Yes. Nuna? I like that, Nuna. There was a little baby once who called me Nuna. His name was Timmy. Many, many years ago. 30 years ago, some. Thank you, Indigo. Okay, Now, who's up next? Where's my 20-sided die? It's not the tiny die, but it's small. Number 8. Silver Witchcraft. Of course it would be that one, because this is one that someone told me if you get like the big box set, that the book is much more extensive and really good. But you know what? This is why I bring all these decks that I don't ever use, because it's fun for me. And I also want to say something here. I know, let's just call it what it is. I know that in this world of ours, the psychic arts, I would say the vast majority of people who practice as psychics and readers are women. And we're always being tested. People come and sit down and they don't want to tell you anything. You tell me, you tell me. And it's like, okay, sure, fine, I'll play. So I just start reading the cards until the sunglasses come off. I remember somebody sitting down the first fair I ever did, where it was my test of whether I was going to be a reader professionally or not. Sat down with sunglasses, I'm laying the cards out, and still had to look up a couple things, and got to one thing in the past, and there was, I can't remember what the 2 were, but there was 9 of swords. And I said, there's, a lot of grief here, and I was describing, and I see a tear coming down from under the glasses, and he said he had attempted suicide the night before. And then eventually the glasses come off and he starts to talk. But my point there was that people are always testing us. You guess what's wrong with me, read my mind. And, I've told people that you have a very wrong idea of what we do. We can't just reach in and know whatever you want us to know. So all of that to say, there is absolutely no shame in looking things up at all, ever. Just do what you got to do to convey your messages. There's a lot of information to keep in one brain. So, all right. I figured that out, Sam. All right. Oh, one more. They riffle so beautifully. And I do love the triple moon on the back. All right, what do we need to know? Silver Witchcraft. We have the 7 of Chalices, the Sun, the Page of Swords, the Lovers, the Page of Chalices, and the Devil. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, 7 of Cups, 7 of Chalices. She's here picking fruit. There's corn, there's cherries. So she is harvesting, and she is deciding on what will be harvested and picking and choosing. I would like this. I don't like that. But the things that she has to choose from are all right there in front of her. Then we've got the sun looking very high priesty, here to bless us with his rays, and the Page of Swords, who is infinitely curious and looking for the truth. Tell me something. Teach me something. Okay. Then we've got the Lovers, making a commitment, bonding. The Page of Cups, bringing in a new emotional journey. And then we've got the Devil. Holy shit. Okay. I'm going to read. Seven of Chalices. Confusion, fantasies, choices, imagination, dreams, illusions, lack of focus, wishful thinking. So it carries the same meaning as the 7 of Cups traditionally, but I don't know that I get confusion there. So I guess we're, just not really sure which way we're heading. All right, so here we go. Is this topical at all? Nah, we're not sure what we will be harvesting here. The sun, though, says, I am shining light on everything. I am bringing everything into the light of day. As Samantha says, I am radiating authority, radiating empowerment, power, but not just and notice it's not the spotlight on me, it's the light shining from behind me on all of everybody. And then Page of Swords. Let me look at the quartz here. And see, this is, I remember doing the video for this. This is why it's like, I wish I had the big book, because it clearly there's some depth missing. Smart, witty, and quick, she loves learning, which comes very easily to her. Her mind is concise, precise, and logical. She has a strong sense of justice and values the truth. She can take jokes too far, hurting others' feelings. Gosh, what is all that before the taking jokes too far? Who does that sound like? But I wouldn't expect a page there. And I want to tell you, on Monday, we had a cookout, and I took some decks, and one of them was the haunted house. And I started asking about, show me, when all the votes are in and counted and everything is sorted out, show me what the House of Representatives looks like. And I got the High Priestess in the beginning. 2 pages, 2 knights, and then an ace. And it was like, okay. But it was like the rookies. I was seeing the pages as, here's the rookies coming in. But the sun and the Lover's card, it's like joining together in broad daylight, eyes open. We know what we're getting into, choosing. She's confused about what to choose here. And here we've got the light shining on partnership, cooperation, collaboration, compassion. And over here, they kind of have some juvenile stuff going on. The Page of Swords, who can take jokes too far, hurting others' feelings. Take jokes too far, hurting others' feelings. And then the Page of Chalices is a sensitive individual who's creative and imaginative, can be overly sensitive, retiring, and shy. Sometimes willfully ignore common sense or rational arguments. This is funny. This is funny, you guys. This is certainly the topic of the election. There's no two ways about it. But, we've got the mature way, and especially denoted by 2 major arcana here, saying that, this is the spiritual path. This is the self-serving path. Okay, and then we get the devil in the bottom. And boy, the devil is in the details, right? The devil is in how we choose between the two. I'm going to read all the others. Let's see. Sun, by the light of the sun, we can see clearly and make sense of the world. By the light of the sun, the world comes alive. The sun gives us energy, vitality, and joy. Happiness, joy, fun, optimism, enthusiasm, glory, clarity, consciousness, success, celebration, energy, vitality, good fortune, greatness, life. So yes, all of the good things is the sun. The Lover's card. Follow the yearnings of our heart with clear thought and commit to the path with your whole self, body, mind, heart, and spirit. Choices, crossroads, trust, communication, relationships, partnerships, togetherness, love, affection, sexuality, harmony, engagement, attraction, duality. All of those lovers things. But united underneath the sun. The sun is union. But then we got the devil coming in here. And like I said, the devil is in the details. And the devil comes after the choices are made, when the flim-flammery begins. What should we cling to and what should we free ourselves from? Exploring these questions helps us understand who we really are, which is the great work of magical and spiritual growth. So with all the bondage and the obsession and the toxicity and the desire and that the devil is, our base nature that we fail to overcome, it It's what happens when you have a lack of maturity and you cave into your desires, your strong desires, rather than being able to, you know, forestall your satisfaction. What's the definition of maturity? It's being able to delay your gratification. The devil can't do that. Okay. Man, this is very, very interesting. I want to shuffle. I want hits on the devil, please. Okay. So, the Empress, Two of Chalices, Queen of Swords. Okay. So, the Empress, this side, there's that mothering energy. Two of Chalices there. And look, we've got, we have the couple here. This couple kind of reaching up to the heavens. This is face to face now, working things out. Queen of Swords. I mean, that's a form of judgment. What do you think, you guys? It's not really hanging together for me here. This can talk about women and women's issues and the support that we need. If I just put them down here, because that was the intention, is hitting on the devil here. Women, look at her looking at relationships face to face. And this is the big, probably the crux at the center that needs healing, is how men and women relate to each other. And this is, a rooted thing, generational, of male superiority that we have to overcome. And in some that belief is planted so deep. So here's Queen of Swords, able to cut through those things, able to be nurturing, but still no bullshit, clear-eyed, and in charge. Ready to say no where she needs to. Certainly, relationships need to be healed. Seven of Wands, Two of Wands. All right, I could keep going, but I'm not gonna. And see, this is why this deck is not that satisfying for me. So, okay, let me see. Okay, Indigo says, I sometimes feel that the ones who come to readers with skeptic attitude are actually believers, or they have abilities too, but have a fear. And say, I agree. I would agree with that. So funny. I was doing readings at a Ren fair once, and this dude came up, and he had had several beers. And he came up and he's like, come on, you really believe this stuff, really works, blah, blah. And I said, no, it's all complete bullshit. Want to find out? He's like, yeah. He sat down and had a reading. And I mean, at the end of it, he was like, wow, I can't believe that. That was incredible. You just really hit. And yeah, it was the fear that was speaking. As this, you don't really believe in that. So I met him where he was. Nah, it's complete bullshit. Come on, let's have fun. So at the end, he had his mind changed. Very satisfying. Okay. Do you seem to draw a specific tarot card for each candidate, regardless of all your decks? I don't read on them often enough to know. I really don't, because I have my sense of the way things are going, and I just don't need to belabor it. I don't need it to wash over into my spiritual side every once in a while. But no, I haven't read on them enough to notice that, truthfully. Okay. Hi, Fran. Hello. I'll tell you too, look at the top of your chat window and switch it from top chat to live chat if you find you're missing things or people are responding to something you can't find. Lots of powerful women, that's the truth. So yeah, that the readings that I did when I was talking about the rookies in Congress, and they were both women, and then the ones that when I read on the Senate, Tim Walz showed up as the King of Pentacles or King of Wands. I think he's in Aries. I can't remember, but I'll know who they are when they show up, but it's not like one particular card. Allie says maybe it's about the wives who are afraid to vote because of their abusive husbands. Ooh. But you know what?
um, the husbands can't go into the booth with them. They can't. So your vote is private, and if people are running the polls the way they should be, then I hope that women would be able to go in and say, "Oh yeah, I voted for Trump," and just do what they want to do. Send some out. Send some out there to thems. Okay. Deck number 20. This is the WITCH. All right, we'll do it. I was gonna say we used it last week, but oh shit, and there went through a whole bunch of them. Hold on. Ah. Who else is that old? Is that Zach? No, that's not a deck. That's a little pair of binoculars. Okay. All right. Mischief managed. Now, get myself sat down, right? All right. This is such a good deck for this time because women in total control of herself is something we've not been allowed to be. And watching Kamala on the town hall that I can't remember if it was CNN that had it. Where's Anderson Cooper? I can't remember. I think it's CNN. Anyway, he asked, he said, General, is it Kelly that just came out with a book where he said Trump's a fascist. He said he wanted generals like Hitler had. And so Anderson asked her, he's like, you talk about what these generals are saying. What about you? Do you think Trump is a fascist? He said, you've never told your opinion. What do you think? Do you think he's a fascist? And she said, yes, I do. Yes, he is. So it's like, fuck yeah. It's like she's done this pitch perfect just escalation as things go on. And she's very good at reading the room and saying what is appropriate to say. She's just really an excellent politician. Okay, so we have the dreamer, disciple of ritual, the devouring mother. Holy crap. The predator, psyche, and the scholar. All right. This is going to be something. So, the dreamer, that is our hopeful, wonderful, bright self, carrying you through the unveiled dream sky. When you sleep, the soul awakens and wraps you in her star-filled arms. This is a time for you to glimpse the heavens of your own psyche and sail the Milky Way of possibility. So, talking about when you receive a dream, it's like getting a letter in the mail from your beloved dream mother. She's been with you during your waking hours. Okay. Da-da-da-da. A witch knows her dreams are a vital part of empowerment and records them, deciphering to the best of her ability the letters from home as a means of charting her daytime path. Right now is a perfect time to write down your dreams, pay attention, create a personal lexicon of dream symbolism. So if you, I used to keep a dream journal, and it's so funny how, when you keep a dream journal and you catch dreams, like just as you wake up, and you can seed this. And you know what? You can seed your dreams and get a special journal to keep next to your bed, anoint it, bless it, make it your official dream journal. And then you seed when you go to sleep at night. You say, I would really like a dream tonight, please. And then place that journal and a pen someplace where you can reach it and not have to close your, or not have to open your eyes, where you can reach it with your eyes closed, blank page, scribble down the big highlights that will help you remember the rest of the dream, and then you can go back to sleep, right? but you want to get those main things down. And don't think you're going to remember. Once you open your eyes, a whole different part of your brain comes in and you can feel it just receding into the background. Um, but looking back on dream journals, there were some ones that were just, I know they had to have been really intense at the time. And I'm reading it and going, I have no memory of that whatsoever. But talking about tapping into the subconscious, so we had another one over there with moth. So we are talking about the time of year when the veil is thinning and it is much easier for those dreams to get through. So this is a reminder to do our devotional work, to seed our dreams before we go to sleep at night, to do our prayer work and project it out and do your magic, work your magic. Disciple of ritual. So what exactly is ritual for? And here is where, when you start off in the craft, it can be very helpful to find specific rituals if you're interested in a particular deity or, a particular belief system, to go and do the things that they say to the letter, follow those steps. But as you continue to practice, and those steps are the way that you get from one kind of consciousness to another, right? It helps you to shift into trance mind, into ritual mind, into magic mind, where you've got subconscious and conscious in both brain hemispheres and everything kind of all paying attention at once, right? But as you move on through ritual, you don't need anybody's permission, but I'll give it to you anyway if you need to hear it. You have my permission to do ritual the way it works for you. And it helps, like you can go and look at my Art of Magic or the Art of Ritual playlist. And I need to go back and look and see what else I need to fill in because it's been a while since I shot those videos. But the steps of ritual, the preparation, the drawing of the circle, the bringing in of the guardians and of deity, the raising of energy, the working of magic, the sharing of the sacred, the release, the sacred meal, the grounding, closing down, all those steps of ritual. Once you learn what is required to get you there and accomplish the magic, you can be freeform. You can create what you want to create. Ritual becomes a magical creation in and of itself. It's living, breathing art, performing art, maybe for an audience of you and the gods, So the dreamer, you can follow your magic wherever it takes you. Being a disciple of ritual can teach you the steps that you need to go through. And then you train up your magical skills. You get used to what magic feels like. What does it take me to get there? And then you practice, practice, practice. Do it all the time until it becomes part of you. Then you can just really let the magic flow. Then we've got the devouring mother. Okay, I need to read some more here. Okay, so, I always do that. I look at the number on the card and then I go to that page. And it never works. Oddly. Okay. Disciple of ritual, you're connected to all things. So that's another thing about ritual. It is a process of integration. It is a process of calling forth when you do those quarters, and you go to the east. It's a process of calling forth your mind, of being in touch with your mind and aware of your mind, right? When you go to the south, it's tapping into what does the energy of will and the life force feel like. When you go to the west, what does my emotional body feel like? Calling that in, and the physical body. And then the spirit, what is the I am? Where is my I am? Who am I? That's the soul part. So you bring all those parts together under spirit and you work your magic. So you integrate. And when you work your magic, it resonates on all those levels. So you can't compartmentalize. When you do magic, you can't compartmentalize if you're doing it right, And if you try to, you're going to trip. And then you're going to learn something from your magic. Okay. So, um, the ritual is talking about creation's ongoing conversation. Yes, and so the parts of ritual follow like the parts of seasons and something growing. There's, you can, it's organic. And as you practice, that's what your ritual and your magic becomes organic to you and your system. Okay, devouring mother. I'm scared to look. All right. Like Medusa, the devouring mother is part of our psyche. Oh, yes, it is Medusa. There, look at the snakes. She is the embodiment of not enoughness, the soul of lack, who says your gifts and talents will never be enough, your ideas and plans are a waste of time and won't amount to anything, who says if you open that book, you're not a real reader. Like an intimidating parent or a disapproving school teacher, all she has to do is cast a glance at your creative spark with a disapproving stare, and you shrink, convinced you'll never be enough. So you hide your gifts, or worse, refuse to develop them. This is developing them. Suffer her gaze too long, your creativity turns to stone, paralyzed by fear. Okay, she's also the one that says you'll never have enough. A witch knows the only way to defeat the devouring mother is to turn her stare back on herself. When we gaze at ourselves through the lens of original innocence, holding to the truth that we can do, be, or have anything we want, we turn her paralytic gaze back on her. You are, at your core, deserving of every good and lovely thing, not because of your talent or contributions, but by right of your beingness. Heal your traumas. Seek out therapeutic support. Now is the time to insist on a loving, supporting gaze at your life. And if you cannot manage it on your own, do what it takes to get help. Only love can defeat fear, and you are the one responsible for how you view your inherent worth and the creativity that springs from it. So when you start working your magic, you might do spells for a particular thing that you think you need, that you think maybe you're lacking. Um, and sometimes what happens is you do this wonderful magic and it feels very clear. And it feels like, wow, that was potent. It was, I feel integrated. It was the real thing. Off we go. But the very first thing you hit is like the exact opposite. And you think, what the fuck? You know? Why what is this? This is the opposite of the magic I was doing. Well, what happens is that the first thing you're going to run into is what's in the way of this wonderful magic that wants to manifest in your life. So your spell work, if it is good and effective and you still have big things that need to be healed, your spell work will show those to you, because it will start to work and it will hit an obstacle and you have to get that obstacle out of the way. That's the hands-on healing work. All right. So the devouring mother might be in the way of our performance of ritual, in our magical dreaming. So we're going to have to encounter her. And guess who else we're going to have to encounter? The predator. Whew. There they both are, huh? Can you see him? Trying to get the shadow off of him. Yeah. You know that voice of the psyche that wants you to comply or conform in order to fit in, or shames you for being selfish, or tells you it's honorable and responsible to deny your longing, demanding you fold your dreams away, into a people-serving shaped box? It's a predator you adopted as family. The voice condemning and convincing you that following your desires will hurt other people. It's inside you. The call is coming from inside the house. That predator is an unholy inquisitor. He might have first showed up outside of you in your original home church or school, and most certainly in our culture as a whole. But he is now alive as the inner patriarchy. It's the force that wants to control you in order to keep you small and unthreatening. It's moved into the psyche as it does generation after generation if left unquestioned. So that last reading too, about partnerships. And in order to have those good, healthy partnerships, we've got to root the patriarchy out of ourselves because we've been trained into it. It's part of our deep belief system, too. A witch knows it's purposeful to speak truth to power, to stand up and march for justice, fairness, and decency. Okay, to embody fierce decency when her dreams or hungers or passions are shamed and belittled from within. So, what does the inner hero look like to you? What part of you? Where's the warrior in you that's going to show up? How do you show up for yourself when you're confronted with the devouring mother and the predator? Talk about a 1-2 punch. Oof. Then we get Psyche on the other side. So, we can internalize our predators so thoroughly, and what it looks like is self-sabotage. We come after ourselves because the messages are so deep. Nobody runs into the arms of change with mad, passionate delight, yelling, "Pick me, pick me." I kind of do. I don't know. And yet, without change, there's no growth. Well, see, I have a Sun-Uranus conjunction. So when it's time to change, I hang in there. All of a sudden, it's like everything has to change now. Come. So anyway, without change, there's no growth. Since no growth comes from comfort, you might as well get used to being uncomfortable. The caterpillar has a complete meltdown literally inside its chrysalis. We were just talking about that. The cells of that mushy substance known as imago cells are no longer caterpillar cells, but they're not yet butterfly cells. This is exactly what we're talking about. It's like this deck is sort of tying together the other two. You might say imago cells represent a third creature, one that doesn't know what is yet, one that is becoming and becoming, one that is unbecoming and becoming at the same time, carrying the image, imago, of what it might yet be when it emerges. So this talks about becoming comfortable with discomfort. Again, becoming comfortable with not knowing. There's the dreamer, deep, deep things going on down below, making the magic, going through ritual, and leaving the door open. One of the most profound things I ever went through was, and trigger warning if you're, squeamish, this is about childbirth stuff. After I had my daughter, I had her placenta in the freezer, and I had my kids at home, so I could do those fun things. We made prints with it. It looked like the tree of life. It's awesome. Anyway, I had decided when my marriage was crashing and burning, she was like a year old, year and a half. Everything was falling apart. He had somebody else that he was, she's married, he's living with her and her husband. It was just crazy, but he was like off and gone. He had gone on an out of town thing, lied about the timing, all this kind of shit, was coming home. I had spent that day, finally got the placenta out of the freezer, and had the most primal experience ever with that thing. Looking at this, the reddest thing I've ever seen, the smell of it, like the ocean, just intense. And I'm holding it and looking at it and the cord and everything and going, this made my daughter. This made my daughter. And then was the realization, and I made this. So I took it and cut it up and I put it in the dehydrator. I still have some. My daughter has some. I use pieces of it when I need big magic. And there was, fresh blood that was dripping from it. So I took some of that and I anointed a red candle, and I knew that shit was falling apart. And it's like, okay, here we go. And I had my Sekhmet statue, the lion-headed Egyptian goddess, sitting on the altar. And it's like, what do? I don't know. So I put it on her lap and I said, this is for my heart's desire. Just hold on to this. No, I didn't say that at the time. I just put it on her lap and said, hold on to this for a little while. And then I think it was like a week later, I left it there for a little while. And then he'd like gone out of town and all the shit was hitting the fan. And that's when I picked it up. And there was a phone call. He was coming home later. He had something to talk about, all this shit. The woman's calling me, all this stuff. That's when I took that candle, breathed into it, and I said, this is for my heart's desire. You know what it is better than I do. Please show me. and I lit that candle. Within a couple of hours, he had come home. He had tried every manipulative tactic he could think of, well, you need to tell me that we're staying married, blah, 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 or I'm not going to share anything with you. No deal. You were already married to me. You vowed that you would share your life with me, so no deal. Well, then I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And I just kept saying, that's your choice. He was a narcissist, by the way, they never accept responsibility. That's your choice. And then he'd, okay, fine. And he's trying to ratchet up. Well, then I'm going to blah, blah, blah. That's your choice. All right, well, then that's your choice. And he choiced his ass right out the door. And then I called my lawyer friend and said I need a divorce. But that experience of you want your heart's desire, let's get this out of the way. There's a giant ass in the way. So, yes, and dreamer and psyche, there's deep stuff going on. We're reforming, we are becoming. But you cannot become unless you are brave enough to let yourself unbecome. Sometimes the unbecoming happens through no choice of our own. We get everything that we ever, hung our hat on ripped away from us, and then we're left in shock like that. But if you can manage when things are shifting to be in that not yet place, that in-between place, that what was that first deck, that liminal place in between, and keep breathing, and do your own emotional regulation and keep your faith, then you've got it. And then we got the scholar at the bottom. You're going to learn something. What are you going to learn? You're going to learn all about magic. So 17. She's a scholar of the sacred text of experience. So this talks about you being the scholar of your own book, your own journey, your own wisdom, your own story. You know your story better than anyone else, and don't let anyone tell you you didn't experience what you experienced, or that it was something else other than what you knew it was. So the scholar, this is where we go from the dreaming, we do the magic, but ultimately I'm thinking about the roots and the time here. We look back, we look at our story. And at this time of year, it can just be looking back to a year ago, or looking back to Beltane, the opposite pole of the year. Looking back, what's my story? What have I learned? What do I know now? What is wisdom that nobody can ever take from me now because I've lived it? You have to validate yourself. Okay. Fran says her cards went flying exactly when I said, oh shit, when I knocked all the decks off the back. Oh my gosh. Catherine says, saw a lady who voted for the first time at 84 years old. I saw that too. Her husband had always told her she didn't need to, but he died last year and her granddaughter took her. Blessings to all. But you know what? That's Allie says she's shocked to hear this. Yeah, but that's the way it is in this country. Complacency. I've been saying since like the 80s, since I, woke up and became an adult, that complacency is our worst enemy. We just get used to things being taken care of, and I don't need to vote, and wait, And then when I started voting, it was just, I was in my 20s. Presidential elections, I don't know these other people, and it's like, those are the really important ones. Uh-oh. Hold up. Let me see if I can fix this. I don't think, yeah. Okay, you've still got the audio, right? Plug in my camera back in. Hold on. Let's see what happens. There we go. All right, I'm back. I just had to unplug it. All right. Indigo says, yes, he's fascist, more obvious every day. Yeah, and he thinks that the more loud he is about it now, that's going to be better for him. He's just, he's in what they call narcissistic collapse. Dreams bringing through lots of interesting messages, sometimes premonitions. Absolutely. In the South Georgia. Yeah. So Allie's from Scotland. So, I would be very curious to know the difference between um, our two countries and, what it's like when people are voting and stuff. Hold on a second. I'm going to make myself not so glaringly bright. I think. I thought I was. Oh my God. All right. You'll just have to put up with the glare of my face. Wait. There we go. There. I'll just fade into the darkness. Anyway, this is a strong, strong, strong message of the work that we need to do internally so that we can be available during these times of big societal, cultural, sweeping change. We are living in an absolutely historic time. No, with whichever way things go, we are living history that counts, and it really is something. Ah, Indigo says the reading hits hard for you. For all of us, I'd say, yeah, yeah. Wow. I think okay, we're at an hour and a half. I think we do one more. What do you say? What do you say, eh? All right. Allie says we don't have that in the UK. The carelessness is more of a general public reaction to politics. Yeah, it really, and in this country, what we have is people that are doing their damnedest to make it as hard to vote as possible. We need to go the other way. People need to be automatically registered to vote when they turn of voting age. It can be done easily online. You can register online now, but it should just be so easy to vote that you sit and do it in your home and deliver it. We can have all kinds of other secure things from our banking and stuff that we can sit and do it on our computer. You can get into your social security account and apply for government benefits and do all this stuff from your very own computer. Why can we not vote? You're given a code. There needs to be something for ID verification. They know how to do these things. So, anyhow, one more. 6. The Practical Witches spell deck. Okay, I was wondering if this one was going to come up. This ought to be really interesting. How do I open this? There we go. This is an odd little deck. This was one of those $10 wacky kind of decks. That's not really a divination deck, but if you're a reader, everything's readable, right? Whoa, here we go. Now, these aren't in any everyday spells, house spells. Am I gonna do spells money, moon, house, moon? Okay, they're not. I was wondering if they were all separated. Okay. Catherine says, really interesting the way the witch deck tied up the 2 previous readings. I agree. It really did. Well, it is interesting, but not surprising because we've been around the block a few times. Yes, Allie, that's the big thing. Election campaigns. Well, as everything in this country, money has taken over. And it was Reagan who rolled back a whole lot of things. It used to be that every TV station gave each candidate equal time, equal free time on their networks. Nobody poured tons of money into commercials and stuff. And then they decided that companies could just give unlimited money to campaigns. And then we were off to the races. It's ridiculous that, it's a phenomenal and amazing thing that Kamala's campaign has raised $1 billion. $1 billion. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. But that anybody should need to raise that amount of money is fucking ridiculous. But then think about, this is just people, and obviously big donations too, but mostly it's people, grassroots people giving her money. So imagine if everyone paid their fair share of taxes, how fast money would roll in to the government. Okay. Indigo says the reason why they fight change in making voting easier is that Republicans would never win. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. When you don't have policies, when you don't have anything to offer, because it's all subterfuge, then you have to cheat to win. All right, here we go. Cauldron money magic, that's a money spell. Basket moon spell, a moon spell. White light of love, that's a moon spell. Enchanted lips, that's a love spell. Come to me love potion, that's a love spell too. And then charms for love. And wait. Then we have goddess body blessing balm. Goddess body blessing balm. So we've got 3 love spells and then some charms for love. So we've got money. Here we're just talking about money. And then we got moon. And then love, love, love. So let's just see what happens here. To attract more money into your life, fill a pot partially with fresh water and place it on your altar during the new or waxing moon phase. Light a green candle and pour an offering of chamomile and mint tea into the pot. Pray aloud. I call upon you, gods and goddesses of old. Please come and fill my pot with gold. With harm to none and blessings to thee, I honor you for bringing me health and prosperity. Afterward, pour the water into your garden, imbue your home with the cauldron money magic. So I don't know that we'll get a reading here, but let's just read some spells. It's nice. The basket moon spell, when the first narrow crescent of the waxing moon or basket moon, and we have a new moon on Samhain on the 31st. So when the basket moon appears in the night sky, place a green candle beside a white lily or freesia. Anoint the candle with tuberose or rose oil. Take a handful of seeds or nuts, still in their shells, and place them in front of the candle. Close your eyes and recite this aloud. Under this newest of moons, in Eden fair, I walk through flowers. In the garden of my desires, I light the flame of my mind. I plant the seeds of things to come. Now say aloud what you want in the coming time. When the candle has burned down, bury the nuts and flour in your yard. Wonderful new energy and ideas will begin to bloom immediately in your life. That's very cool. You know what makes me really sad? I cannot burn candles anymore, except beeswax, and even that bothers me just because of soot and stuff. But I am sensitized to petrochemicals, and that's what paraffin is. So I can't burn candles. I just gave my daughter all of my candlesticks and things and votive cups because anyway. Oh, here we go. White light of love. To light the flower of love in your heart, time this charm for the waning of a new moon. So we could do this one on Wednesday, this one on Friday. Place a green candle, so we've got 3 green candles first, beside a white lily, rose, or freesia. Okay. White flowers have the greatest perfume, and any of these beauties will impart a pleasing aura to your home. I like to float a gardenia in a clear bowl of fresh water. Truly the essence of the divine. This person lives in the tropics, obviously. Light the candle and hold the flower close to your heart. Pray, steer me to the highest light. Guide me to beauty and truth. Much have I to give. Much have I to live. Bright blessings to one and all. So you can go back after we're done here and revisit these if you want to do these spells. Enchanted lips. Before a special evening, employ a kiss of glamour by adding 1 drop of clove oil to your favorite pot of lip gloss and then gently stirring it in while saying aloud 3 times, the ripest fruit, the perfect petal, each kiss is a spell of utmost bliss. That's lovely. Here's for Beltane, you guys down under. Come to me, love potion. If you're dreaming of real romance, you can bring about visions of your true love with this potent potion. 3 drops rose oil, 3 drops lavender oil, 3 drops neroli oil, orange blossom essence, 4 ounces pure distilled water. Pour into a colored glass spray bottle and shake well 3 times. 15 minutes before you go to bed, spray lightly on your linens, towel, and pillowcase. Keep a dream journal on your nightstand so you can record details of the great love that will soon manifest. Wow. Then we have Goddess Body Blessing Balm. Your body will receive much attention during your lovemaking, so loving attention from you beforehand will consecrate the temple of your body. Take 1 cup of natural beeswax, chip it into a double boiler, and heat very slowly and gently. Add a 1/4 cup sesame oil and stir with a wooden spoon until the wax is melted and blended with the oil. Let it cool to skin temperature and add 8 drops of sandalwood oil, 5 drops of lemon oil, and 2 drops of rose oil. Be careful. I couldn't use the lemon oil. I'm sensitized to that too. And it's phototoxic, so you can sunburn more easily. But I would maybe leave the lemon out, sandalwood and rose. Anoint yourself with the oil by dabbing a bit on your fingertip and then placing it on your heart, circling outward until your entire body is fully blessed. Wow. Okay, so we have lovely little things. Then we have charms for love. Another charm for luck in love is to take 7 tiny rose quartz stones and put them on your windowsill during a full moon for 7 hours. Then pick up the stones and while holding them in the palm of your hand, speak this wish spell aloud. Luck be quick, luck be kind, and by lucky 7, good luck will be mine, blessed be. Okay, so that was just a nice little interlude, let's call it. Okay. Indigo says, I remember it back then too. Citizens United ruling was so wrong. Absolutely. All you need is love. That's right. And talking here about, I think the message of those cards is loving yourself, anticipating, expecting love to come in your life. And the key there is you start loving yourself and, not just like sex, but loving yourself the way, because that doesn't belong there, the way you expect to be loved. And that means how you talk to yourself. Think about when you're in a new relationship and when you're just like, ooh, so oogie over each other. And, you don't ever say, boy, you're an idiot. You're really stupid. My God, you can't do anything right. Those aren't loving words. Those are not loving words. So I want you to think about the words that you use to talk to yourself. Okay, I'm going to do one more. 15. Is that what it is? 16, sorry. Oh, Ellen Cannon Reed Tarot. All right. Come on now. Ah, yes, we end with a nice witchy deck with that pentacle. All righty. I can't wait to go into my closet. I cleared so much crap out of my closet. It's wonderful. It has been a mess for a couple of years now. And so happy to have been able to clean and get it done and rearrange things so there's more space. And my daughter has been coming up and spending a few days every week. So getting her bedroom back into shape so it feels like a bedroom instead of a basement. Death. Seven of Swords. The Sun again. 7 of Wands. The 2 of, what is it? Pentacles. Is that 2? No, 2 of Cups. They're very small. And looky, it's us. Okay. So we are on the precipice. Look at this. We are on the precipice. And that was another thing I remember getting kind of a message from Spirit once of, you cannot fall off the cliff slowly. That if a leap of faith is required, it's not going to be a measured thing. A leap means full trust. Off we go. Because Death card says, we're coming to the end. This is culmination. We are coming to the absolute end of what? Of Pluto's cycle, for one. Something that we can really point to in our lifetimes is this last journey of Pluto through Capricorn. And death is a topic. I mean, it's a topic in other ways too. The wars that are going on and the civil war that's going on in this country against women, you know? So there's a lot of death is permanent change. There's a lot of permanent change going on, a lot of doors closing. And as we close doors, we open up space. Maybe we're still in that liminal space. The new door hasn't quite opened yet. Seven of Swords here. And you see people playing music together. Um, this is a deck I haven't used in forever. Oh, that's what you do. All right. Creative action, especially artistic, energy flows into creative projects, development of skills in artistic fields. So you see, this is very different from standard tarot. So this is creativity, but being active about it. Seven of Wands is active as well. Creativity, inspiration, the arts, attraction, achievement of goals, victory, go. Let's think of what could you do using whatever tools you're fond of, either writing, painting, drawing, singing, dancing, writing a little play, whatever it is, the creative thing that you do. What could you do to convey to those that come after you what it's been like living through this time? You know, because there will be people down the road looking back going, oh my God, what was it like? What must it have been like to live through that time? So, how would you express it? How would you express your feelings around this time? The sun here says, I mean, the sun coming out is to give us hope. Two of Cups, and look at this. Here's the reader, the Nine of Cups, sitting there going, all right, I can take a step outside of my emotions to look at them, to see the information they bring. I can read the signs and symbols. This is a source of my joy. I can read the signs and symbols, and I can lead myself and others emotionally up, 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 up to the place where we are empowered, where all is warm and sunny, all is revealed, all is visible, all is apparent, and the sun is the ultimate creativity card. So we are called here to channel, to move to channel, to do something, make something that gives you joy. Carve a pumpkin, carve a freaking pumpkin. You know, something that's going to give you joy here is what these two sevens are talking about. And they're dynamic. It's odd numbers. You know, it's a dynamic thing. But we need to channel rather than letting it build up and get stuck. And then the Two of Cups here is somebody here, I know the way. Here, I can help you, help guide you through the emotional choppy waters. And yes, you know, it's a hard climb, but watch, you can do it. I'll show you how. And it's easy to follow because you can see somebody getting there before you. So many have gotten there before us. It's possible, but it's not possible to get there without a lot of loss. Without a lot of loss. We've got 10 of Wands and we've got 9 of Pentacles. So 10 of Wands here is the big house, the achievement, and the 9 of Pentacles here is gestation. We are waiting for the new to be born. We are waiting for this new to be born. We've built something to house it, and we're building every day. 7799 and a 10, you know, things are culminating. Things are getting to the end here and culminating. Wow. All right. Practical magic film. Creative arts. I mean, you have to do it. Think about it as lifeblood. This is another thing that the U.S. has managed to ruin for all of us, is that everything has to be monetized. Everything has to be commodified, you know, commoditized. Of, you know, oh, what are you going to sell that for? What are you going to do with that? We're not allowed to create just for the joy of creating. So that's another thing to reclaim that this reading is showing here, is that the sun empowerment comes from empowering yourself, um, to do your own creativity, to, to use your gifts, whether it's the gift of a reader. And it doesn't have to be good art. Every artist that is a good artist has to make bad art before they get to the good stuff. So you don't have to make something that's worthy or worth something. If it's giving you joy and putting you in that right brain space where time kind of goes away, then it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. It's your job to be here and be happy, you know? Okay, here's the game I play of being able to get this perfectly in the middle. Booyah. All right, you guys. Well, let's come on back together here. Come on back together. Come on down into your body. Bring that grid into your awareness again and just see it shining all around the globe. Imagine all of the messages tonight just sort of raining onto you, raining into your body, raining onto your mind, and just sinking in like rain into soft soil. Let it sink all the way into your deepest mind, where new messages that made you go, ah, can go in there and start shedding light and rearranging some of those old belief systems. And now, as you breathe, allow those lessons, that wisdom that is now yours, to radiate out from your heart and into that grid, sharing with others. Helping to shine your light, to lead others up that steep, steep hill to emotional healing, to ancestral healing, to empowerment, to living your true life. Yes, Indigo, letting your witch art come out and play. Your art witch. Okay. So then sending gratitude out to all of your guides and guardians, allies and ancestors. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to play with me. Thank you for letting me get out all my decks and play and experiment. And then allow any excess energy. Wait, before we do that, nice big exhale, deep inhale. And on the next exhale, push that outer layer till it goes out and wraps around the planet and blasts out into space. And now any extra energy can go down into the earth for her blessing, with our gratitude, with our prayers, with our healing. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Yes, thank you. Click that like button. I think we lost Samantha. I think she fell asleep. Hey, Sam, wake up. I think she fell asleep. I'll talk to her tomorrow. I'm sure that's what she did. Okay. Thanks so much, you guys. I love you. Thank you for being here. Hang in there. Hang in there. We're going to be okay. All right. There's crazy shit going on, and we're going to be okay. Do your magic, do your devotional work, and I will see you next time. Indigo says, I want you to know that I really enjoy your videos and have used your guidance to choose many of the tarot and oracle decks that vibe for me. Aw. Part of my daily woo practice. Thank you. Yay. Woo woo. I am very happy and honored to be part of your woo practice. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Till then, blessed be.